Hi, this is Ed Heck, and you're listening to The Big Fat Joey Show.
Broadcasting live from the WGBB World Headquarters here in New York. This is The Big Fat Joey Show with your host, Big Fat Joey.
Hey, son, Big Fat Joey Show. Biggest thing on radio. Happy 4th of July.
It's 4th of July. Can you believe it? This weekend, it's 4th of July. It's going fast.
Going fast. And we had a great day yesterday. Tell everyone what's all about.
Well, Alice Olivia was hosting Jenny Mullen, City of Likes, my new summer read, which I'm starting today on the beach, which I'm so excited about. She hosted an amazing event. We had so much fun. We got to meet Jenny Mullen. Katie Couric was there doing a talk, also signing her book, as well as Jason Biggs. How much pie are we going to eat this weekend?
What's more American than 4th of July weekend? Apple pie and Jason Biggs.
And I was just, all I kept thinking about is this one day in band camp. I just couldn't stop.
In band camp. But great day yesterday. Everyone super nice. Fun to see everyone. Great to meet everyone. We've met Katie Couric before. Pumpkin picking over at Milk Pail a few years back, but always great to see her. Everyone was super chill. And great turnout. Well, it wasn't too big of a turnout, but it wasn't too small either.
I know, but just coming there, we got there pretty quick, but there was rain in certain areas. So it would be pouring, and then we opened up. Long Island had a lot of rain yesterday, but we were really lucky to get there not too long.
No, luckily traffic and
was moving,
and people were home. I guess because we came out, it was kind of rainy here and there, so I guess a lot of people were already home. It was late in the afternoon, so people getting ready for their barbecues and what have you. But today is a spectacular, gorgeous day. And tomorrow, 4th of July, it's supposed to be even better. Can't wait for that. And obviously, tomorrow we'll be out in Southampton watching the 4th of July parade and down Main Street and Job's Lane. Always a tradition of ours to come out and support.
Absolutely. But we have a jam-packed show today.
Jam-packed. We have on our show today, first and foremost, friend of the Big Fat Joey Show, pop artist Ed Heck. Well, we've known Ed for a handful of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always gracious. We met him at an open house exhibit of his in the building that he's in, the Morgan Fine Arts building, a couple of years back, about 5-6 years ago, I'd say. And all the artists have an open house, and you check out everyone's art. And we came upon Ed and seen his art. And you all know his art. He has a lot of different artistic items out there. A lot of famous art and what have you. But it was great, to have an opportunity to speak with him. And he has a new art exhibit happening this July 9th from 7 to 11 p.m. over at the Morgan Fine Arts Building. Once again, July 9th at the Morgan Fine Arts Building. So we can't wait to hear from him and see all that he's talking about, especially two of his near and dear pet projects. One is Take Heart, and the other is Disrupted X. So we'll have Ed on the line with us. Then we also have with us
Amanda Cipriano, which I'm so excited. She's from Princesses, Long Island. She is so fun and so sweet. She has so much going on. She just got married, which she chatted about getting married, about the show, as well as she has a new clothing line out.
Long Island Royalty. That'll be dropping in a few weeks. Can't wait to see that and get a hold of stuff, because you already know Sin's already checking off the items that she wants to pick up.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm so excited about this. You know me, I love to shop. Yes, I love to shop. So we're all excited. And she was so fun. She played This or That, of course, Long Island edition.
Everyone's favorite radio game, This or That with Sin.
So I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah. Great having on. And it was a great show. It's on about 10 years ago. Fun show. Hopefully they can get some sort of reunion going on. It would be great to see the whole cast together. And, find out where they are 10 years later, before they were, early to mid 20-year-olds.
Not married, home with their family.
Now they're a little older, 10 years older, and see where they're at. And then also on today's show, we have Donna Shore, holistic healer and author of Poppin' Past 40. She talks with us about her journey to have a child after the age of 40. So great chat with her. Great book that she has out that will give all the men and women out there insight on what it's like to, have a child after 40. So without any further ado, up next is our interview with world-renowned pop artist Ed Heck. All right, everyone, let's welcome to the line world-famous artist Ed Heck. Ed, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
Hey, thanks, Big Joey.
What's going on, pal? Long time no speak. With COVID, everything's been lying low, but you've got some great, exciting things going on.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep myself busy, even with the pandemic going on.
What do you have going on? I follow you on Instagram, see what you're doing. I know you do a lot of riverboat cruises in Germany, and your art is on luggage, and I have a couple of your face masks for when COVID was really rocking and rolling. But you have a new art exhibit this July 9th at the Morgan Fine Arts Building. Tell us a little bit about that and what we can expect.
Yeah, well, I after the pandemic, got back to doing some shows and stuff around the world, and like you said, some art cruises and stuff. And then when I came back, I moved out of my old studio space into a bigger studio space, actually in the same building, but on ground floor now, and it's got some windows to the street. So I decided to make it a studio/gallery, and I'm opening my first gallery exhibit, like you said, July 9th, and it's called What the Duck? And which is a question I think a lot of us have been asking ourselves the last couple of years, what the duck? So, and it's going to be some music and some food and lots of duck images.
Quack, quack. Yes, you are famous for your duck paintings, portraits, and they're not caricatures, but and
yeah. Well, I have a rubber duck fetish. I don't know where it came from or what it's about, but I started drawing lots of rubber ducks and then doing rubber duck portraits of people, and then I found myself with lots and lots of duck images. So I thought, what can I do? Let me do a show of just old ducks. So this is the culmination of that.
Well, listen, we got Daffy Duck, we got Donald Duck, we got What the Duck. I mean, and everyone loves ducks. I mean, who doesn't go to the park without a loaf of bread to go feed the ducks and the other fowl and what have you? But everyone loves a duck. So what else have you been up to? You I know you got involved in masks. Tell us a little bit about that, because I was one of the first to order, and I'm being truthfully honest with you that your mask is the one I wear 99% of the time. It's light. I mean, knock on wood. I've been all right wearing it. It seems to be doing the job. I wash it, and I guess it's it's a blend of a synthetic. It dries within 10-15 minutes once it comes out of the wash. So it's not something. It doesn't shrink, and it's held up. So what made you get, besides the obvious, how'd you get involved doing the masks?
Well, when the pandemic first started and, everything, the world shut down and, and people started contacting me saying, oh, you should put your art on mask and do that. And I was like, well, yeah, that would be a good thing to do. But, licensing on a good day is complicated and time consuming, and everyone, all the companies were closed. So, but I kept getting more and more requests. And then I decided, instead of trying to explain to people why I couldn't do it, I decided to see if I could do it. So I started reaching out to a lot of the companies that I did licensing with. And of course, a lot of them were closed. And then I reached out to a company called Long Lat, which produces my line of luggage and backpacks and other travel goods, and talked to him about doing the mask. And he had his offices in New Jersey closed, but he's like, this would be great. I'll bring back some of my workers. And then I talked to him also about, that was at the same time when the governor and the mayor asked if people and businesses could start thinking a little bit outside the box and try to help with the mask shortage for hospital workers and first responders. So I talked to him about, would you be willing to donate them to hospitals? And he, without hesitation, said, yes, let's do it. It's a good thing to do. So we started producing them. He got his company going and factories running and produced them, and we donated First, I reached out to a charity that I worked with, Artworks, and all of the hospitals that we were involved with them, and asked them if they wanted them, and they all got on board and wanted them, and those were the first ones we sent out. And we started donating to all of the hospitals in New York, New Jersey, Boston. We ended up doing some in Texas and California. And I stopped counting, like when we donated over 60,000 masks. And then we started making them available to the public. And with every one purchased, we would donate an additional mask. So I don't even know what the numbers were, but it was pretty good.
And you know what? This is the first time here in America anyone's had to wear a mask who didn't have the letters MD after their name. I mean, I never wore a mask.
Yeah.
And like I said, we bought a couple of them. And my favorite is the duck with the gas mask on. I also have I guess it's the fish with the big smiling teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that one.
Yeah, the other thing too, I didn't think, I was like, well, by the time we get up and running, this whole thing will be over. But
I would have thought.
I never imagined we would be doing. We did Halloween ones, we did Christmas ones, we did Valentine's ones, Thanksgiving mask. I didn't think it would be going this long, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be with us, still for a while, especially with traveling.
Yeah, and especially with traveling. I know you do a lot of work in Germany and what have you, and it's a great opportunity for you to keep your art out there, and everyone likes it. I mean, I get a lot of compliments on it. Everyone thinks it's cute. It's just it doesn't. Wearing the surgical masks, it's just, in my mind, it's kind of depressing, for lack of a better word. Like, okay, so, I mean...
Yeah, if you're going to have to wear a mask, you might as well make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun, make it artsy, and, you did a lot of good by donating, over 60,000 masks. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I know you have a long-term project that you've been doing for, at least 4, 5, 6 years. Your Take Heart. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what the whole meaning behind it is and what it's all about?
Well, that was born out of I started a project called Random Acts of Art, where I would leave or give away art everywhere I traveled around the world. And then a couple of years ago, I started one called Take Heart, where I said I would produce 1,000 original heart paintings and give them away. And I've been doing that. The pandemic slowed me down a little bit because I couldn't get out there and meet people or leave them in places for people. But I'm already into the 900s with the heart, so it's coming close on the 1,000.
Now, it's
a really fun thing to do.
Is there going to be some sort of celebration or something to celebrate the 1,000th piece? I'm going to do another show in my space for Take Heart. That'll definitely be a show at the end with lots of heart-inspired images and stuff. And I'm working on a book about the whole project because something that I wasn't planning on in the beginning when I started Random Acts of Art, but I've been collecting a lot of stories of people, and especially more so with the heart. Like I had a family from Germany that wrote me that told me that hearts were very special to them because their son was born with a heart condition and was told that he wasn't going to survive. And he's, I think, 23 years old now. So the mom, dad, and the 3 kids. So I sent them 5 hearts, and they actually opened them up and filmed it and everything, and they're very happy with it. And, so I've been collecting stories like that where some people would tell me I would just randomly select people from Facebook at times and just send them hearts without them knowing. And some people would, write me and say, "Oh, it found me at just the right time that I needed to get that." So, I've been collecting a lot of great stories. And your whole art, your Take Art initiative, it's fun, it's whimsical, it's generally, it's generally speaking, it's a piece of art that has a heart colored either, whatever colors of the rainbow, red, purple, green, blue. I mean, I think I've seen Shamrock picture of a heart.
I try to do different themes. Sometimes for holidays, I'll do, green ones or Shamrock ones, or for Gay Pride, I did the rainbow hearts, and for different things, I try to do, something a little different. And it's been really fun, and it's kind of a pay it forward kind of a project where I have a sticker on the back that says, just take this art and enjoy it with my compliments. And all I ask in return is that you do something nice to someone else. And, hopefully we'll have a little ripple effect and do some good in the world.
And if at any time, time is now that we need a little more good in the world, because you turn on the news.
Yeah, we hope. Yeah,
it's just,
we always hear all the bad stuff. We need to have some good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's just the news is just ugly. And you know, last time I saw you, and I must thank you again. You bestowed upon me one of your take heart pictures, paintings, and it's hung prominently in my home. And I'd like to think, you know, my wife, myself, my family, you know, we try to pay it forward. I'd like to think, try to do unto others as you'd want done unto yourself, because, you know, it's like there's, you know, like we said, the news is just it's no fun to watch the news anymore, and especially, I mean, the Rangers had a good run, but otherwise, the rest of the New York teams, there's really no reason to watch the news. Yankees are doing good, and actually the Mets are doing good too. I can't downplay the Mets, but hopefully baseball season will rock and roll, and we'll see one, if not both of them in the World Series. That would be nice for New York.
Yeah.
So what else have you been doing? What else do you have planned? What else do you have up your sleeve?
Well, I did also during the pandemic. I had to keep myself busy because all the galleries and cruises were shut down. So I work with a company called Disrupted, which is for disrupting education. And we do educational, we started with like my board books and stuff, and we do them like an ebook version. Then there's a augmented reality version, and then a virtual reality version. So I contacted the CEO from that company, and I proposed to her about doing, because I figured all these young children would be wondering what's going on during this thing. You know, everyone's wearing masks. We can't see other people. We can't, be in contact with family members. They can't go to school. So I did a book called Be Safe with a B character. And it kind of lightheartedly explains to young children what was going on in the world, and, that we have to be apart right now. And then I also wanted to have it a little bit positive. So it's, although it describes the things we can't do, there's also lots of things we can still be. And we did a little music video to it with my friend Kimmy Schwimmy, who's a children's performer that I've worked with in the past. And people can go online and download the app for free. It's called Disrupted X, and download it, and they can check out the book and the song and everything for free. Another project that I'm working on now, I've just been talking with the filmmaker and stuff about doing an online art show for kids. And I want to bring back, and I want to do a lot of hands-on tactile things for kids, because they don't do that a lot anymore. Making clay, doing paper mache and stuff like that, things that you use your hands with, and not digital. I mean, I love digital stuff too, but I wanted to do more tactile things and hands-on stuff, and kind of try to bring that back, because I always loved doing that when I was young.
You have your art exhibit opening on July 9th. How can my audience find, follow, and keep up with everything Ed Heck, and come on out and visit you on July 9th to check out the new studio?
Well, the best places now is either on Facebook, which is just, @ed.heck.12 on Facebook, and then Instagram, which you said before you've been following me on, is @ed_heck. And I'm usually posting everything that's going on those two platforms.
Well, Ed Heck,
sure.
I appreciate being on the Big Fat Joey Show. I'm looking forward to coming out on July 9th to check you out over at the Morgan Fine Arts Building. Once again, thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. It's been nothing but a pleasure, and way too long since we've gotten to speak with this COVID. I wish you luck and success in all that you do, and we shall speak soon.
Great. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to seeing you.
Have a great night. What a fun interview with Ed, and everything that he's going to be exhibiting, his What the Duck exhibit. Can't wait to come out and see it. Remember, everyone, July 9th, 7 to 11 p.m. at the Morgan Fine Arts Building. Up next is our interview with Long Island's very own princess, Amanda Cipriano. All right, everyone, let's welcome to the line one of Long Island's princesses, Amanda Cipriano. Amanda, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
Oh, thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Not bad. Beautiful holiday weekend upon us. Getting ready to rock and roll. Go take a dip in the pool and enjoy.
Right. Gym Tam Laundry. Let's go.
That sounds right. GTL. Hi, Amanda. It's Cynthia. I'm so excited to have you on and chat all things princesses and, of course, Long Island.
Oh, yes, girl. I'm so excited to talk with you. Thank you for having me on.
You have so much going on. I guess we'll start. You want to start? You just got married.
Yes. I got married to Steven. We've been together for 5 years now, and we got married in November. So, yeah, that was pretty major. I'm still, doing my scrapbooks and everything. We just went on our honeymoon also. So, just in newlywed mode.
And that is so fun. But you were on like one of those major shows on Bravo, all about Long Island, called Princesses Long Island.
Yes, that was, oh my, we filmed that in 2012 to 13. So, it's crazy that it's 2022 already. And, so much has happened throughout the years, but people really remember Princesses of Long Island. Like we made a mark in every way, shape, and form. And it's just really wonderful that you're still talking about it. So I love it.
I love the show. I had to watch because, first of all, it's Long Island, so you have to, right? I loved it. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I know where that place is. And we used to go there. And so how was it like, do you still live on Long Island? And how is it growing up on the North Shore?
Yeah, so I grew up in Great Neck. I'm in Glen Cove now. And, I love all the shores. I'm a North Shore girl, but I love going to the South Shore. That's where my husband's from. Okay. So when I was chosen to be on this show, I really had no idea what capacity it would even be. I thought maybe it'd be one episode of something. I didn't know it would be a whole series based around us. And one thing led to another, and here we were filming for Bravo. We didn't even know it would be on Bravo. So that was really major for us. And we were so young that I think we were all just a little naive, didn't know what this was going to be about. And we were really ourselves. So you really couldn't script it any other way.
Now, how did the show come about? Did you pitch it to somebody, or someone just found you and the other girls and say, "Well, let's put this show together"?
So, a casting director from True Entertainment, Chelsea Stevens, she reached out to me via Facebook and said, "Would you want to be on this reality show? We're going to greenlight it, and it hasn't been greenlit yet, but we think it's going to do very well, and you have to fill out this form saying," it was a really basic form. It was like, what Sex and the City character would you say yourself was? And what do you like to do? And what are your hobbies? And, are you dating, this and that? And so I filled it out. I sent it back to her. And then I met with Ashley and Joey from the show a few weeks later at Togu in the Americana in Masset.
Yes.
Very tasty.
Yeah. Literally, one of the producers had a camera and just started filming us as we were eating. I'm like, what's going on? And we just started talking to each other and just naturally kind of, started the show that way. And then just the next month after that, we were filming full production. And I didn't even know the other girls. They all knew each other. So for me, I was still trying to get to know them, whereas they already had their drama.
And who did you feel like the closest to? Like, who was it easier to like film with, or?
So in the beginning, I was very, very close with Ashley. She's someone that I hung out with before we started filming. But as the show started to go on, I became very close with Joey.
Mm-hmm.
We're still, friends to this day. But yeah, it definitely has shifted over the years who I'm friends with.
Okay. And how about how is the filming? Like, did you feel comfortable with it? Did it feel weird? Because you really didn't go out looking for it, right? Right.
So in the beginning, it was very weird. I know that the crew set up lighting and all this stuff in my house. So my house looked like a studio for at least 3 months. And I remember my mom, Babs, who was so extra on the show. She was like, "Oh my God, the electricity that they're costing me, it's crazy." And it's like freaking out that every day people in the house. But yeah, it just became normal, if you could believe that. Yeah, it just became normal. But in the beginning, it was definitely really weird. And it's weird when people are filming you while you're eating and just like trying to, go on a date or something. It was really awkward, but, you do get used to it.
So living on Long Island, like we were chatting before we started the interview, we were talking about like living on Long Island. Of course, I love bling, so I love Juicy Couture. I loved you had to have your first Kate Spade bag. I mean, is that how you felt? Like, what did you feel about the title? And like, how is that really like living on Long Island? What do you think?
So, I mean, where I'm from in Great Neck, yeah, it was, I hate to say it, but it was about, what Kate Spade bag you have or your Prada backpack and your Juicy and your hardtail. And everyone always had the same thing. And not to say I was a little different, but I moved to Great Neck from Forest Hills, Queens when I was in 4th grade. So, like, I always had my own style and I always loved fashion. And I think I was pretty unique than my friends and even the girls on the show. I always, wanted to switch things up. And I didn't like to, have the same bag as everyone else. But I really feel like that's what life was like. And, everyone ironed their hair 6th grade and looked the same.
Yes. No, absolutely. And the hairspray and the nails. Like you had to get your nails done every week.
Yeah, it really is a Long Island thing. And so when, they were going over names for our show, it was Gold Coast Girls. That was one that was going to be. Princesses of the 5 Towns. And then they axed that. It was Princesses of Long Island. And at first, because my dad is an Italian Catholic, my mother is Jewish, but I always celebrated, both holidays. I didn't really grow up, I didn't even go to Hebrew school. I didn't have a bat mitzvah. And I, saying that I was a princess of Long Island was basically essentially calling me a Jap, right? So I didn't really identify with that, so to speak, but, I know that it was, for Bravo to, make it more than it was, make us extra. So.
And then how about when you were like out and about shopping and stuff, did people stop you? Like what were their reactions? Because I remember in the newspaper, there was different reactions about the show.
Right. So, in the newspaper, they were calling us spoiled brats and, things of that nature. And then in person, people were like freaking out. They were hugging us and saying, especially if I was out with Janelle or Joey, they would just like, like we were a girl band.
Right.
I can't believe you guys are really friends in real life and things like that. And so, yeah, it was crazy. I was even on a plane going to Florida and I was stopped so much in the airport, even in Florida, because there's a big Jewish community in Boca Raton and certain places. They all watched it too. So they all like understood what Long Island was about. But it's not to say every town is that way, but that's how I grew up.
Do you wish them to bring back the show? You looking you guys get a reboot? Seems like they're rebooting everything these days.
I know. I really thought that they would even say something on Peacock that they would want to do a reunion or something. I think that would be great for our fans that we have to just see where we're at now and, have that opportunity, because a lot of people are still asking for something like that, even if we did that on our own, did our own reunion. But personally, I would not want to be on a reality show like that again. I would more likely be wanting to be a correspondent. I've been doing that for a while, an entertainment correspondent, celebrity correspondent. I would want to, host a show rather than being on it. That's where I'm at.
So what are you up to today? What's going on today? Like what's happening?
So I've been doing celebrity correspondent work. I was just doing it for WABC on the Sid Rosenberg and Bernie show. And now I also just started a clothing line with my husband called Long Island Royalty. And it's basically BS leisure wear, your hoodies, joggers, V-neck t-shirts that are just so silky smooth. They feel amazing. And you can wear them throughout the day. And, you know, in Long Island, we're always styling. So obviously they're going to have, you know, something unique about them that stands out. And we're really going to focus on typical Long Island sayings that are going to be branded on your shirt, you know, that represents you. Well, so whether it's King of South Shore or Princess of, you know, the North Shore or whatever it may be, we're going to make it for you.
Well, I'm excited about that. I can't wait. And then how would we find that? Are you going to have it on the social media or a shop or a pop-up?
So we definitely, the goal is to get into the great boutiques here in Long Island. And then also we're going to have it on Instagram on our shop. And you can check us out at Long Island Royalty on Instagram. So you can shop that way. But also we'll be announcing the boutiques that we're in. So, yeah, we're going to have them all over South Shore, North Shore, the Hamptons, Montauk. Yeah, everywhere.
Well, I'm excited to style that with my Louis bag. I'm so ready. So you'll have to let us know. But we're going to play our game. Let's go, Amanda. It's Long Island edition, all right?
All right, I'm in.
North Shore or South Shore?
North Shore.
Americana or Roosevelt Field?
Americana. I'm going to get slammed for this.
Cipollini or Toku?
Cipollini.
Yay, me too.
I love this game.
Love Cipollini.
Louis or Fendi?
Fendi right now. I'm going to Fendi.
New York City or the Hamptons?
New York City.
Are you Sex in the City or Gossip Girl?
Sex in the City.
Are you a Carrie or a Samantha?
Carrie.
Would you rather be on the cover of Cosmo or the cover of Vogue?
Vogue.
And lastly, Amanda, are you glamorous or would you say you're totally fabulous?
Totally fabulous.
Woo! Yes. I love some of those. I'm like, I want both. Like, I need both of those.
I was going to say that, but, you know, I don't want to be, like, too princessy.
It's okay. We're from Long Island. I feel like it's a given anyway, at least for me.
My husband just said, what about Steve or Jeff, which was my ex? Obviously, Steve. Yeah.
Obviously, you better pick that. Otherwise, you're going to hear about it. Now, I have another question. If you were a Disney princess, who would you be?
Belle. I love Belle.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And if you had to pick a tagline today, what would be your tagline?
Oh, it would be stylin' and wildin'.
And I have one more. You must watch some Bravo shows. If you could guest star on one show, which one would it be?
I mean, I would say Real Housewives of New York City because I just feel like they need to be revamped in a new way. So I would like that, but I would really love to be on Beverly Hills because they really live life over there.
Beverly Hillbillies?
No, the Housewives. The Housewives.
Oh, Housewives. Oh, all right.
Yeah, it looks like they have a lot of fun. Like, it's different fun, you know, than like Jersey and everything.
Jersey has fun too, obviously. I mean, I could get down with them and go to the shore, but like in Beverly Hills, you're taking the PJ out and you're going to private islands. It's another level.
Yes, I agree.
Well,
that's Total Princess. That should be Total Princesses.
Right.
Well, we had so much fun with Amanda today. You ready for the 4th of July?
Oh, I'm so excited. What are you guys doing?
It's all about the Hamptons, my friend.
We're out there right now enjoying ourselves and We're about to go party in Southampton Village as soon as we end this interview.
A little lobster roll and a little shop.
Oh, have the best time.
What are you going to
So
do?
do you have any events going on?
Events coming up. There's a lot of like Taste of Dan's. There's a little shopping event. Alice Olivia is doing something this weekend, so I'm excited.
Oh, cute.
How about you? What are you doing?
So much fun. Oh, well, we're actually going to a barbecue, and we're going to be in Long Island.
Okay.
And just grilling, chilling, having a good time.
I know. It's supposed to be
excited.
gorgeous weather, so I'm excited.
I know. Anywhere by the water, I'm good.
Yes, me too. Me too. Well,
Get a t-shirt for sure.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you gotta let me know if you're North Shore, South Shore, the whole deal.
So, Amanda, how can my audience find, follow, and keep up with everything that you're doing?
So you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @therealamandab_. And then my new clothing line, Long Island Royalty, is going to be at Long Island Royalty on Instagram.
Well, that sounds great. Amanda, Long Island Princess, thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. I wish you nothing but luck and success in all that you do.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me on. I love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
What fun Long Island talks in.
Amanda's so fun. And like I said, I'm excited for her new line. So everyone's got to look for it.
Yes, everyone's got to look for her new line, Long Island Royalty. You know what? It's always fun talking to Long Islanders, especially, like I said, the show was on about 10 years ago. It's great to hear where she's at now. She's married to a great man named Steven, living over in Glen Cove.
Yes.
Living her life, doing her thing, being a correspondent on WABC Radio. And she's having fun. And I'm glad that she was able to take some time out of her busy schedule to speak with us the other day. And finally, today, we're going to be speaking with Donna Sonkin-Shaw. She's going to speak with us and talk all about her new book, Poppin' Past 40, and her journey to having a child after the age of 40. Here we go. All right, everyone, let's welcome to the line health coach, chef, and author of Poppin' Past 40, Donna Sonkin-Shaw. Donna, welcome to the Big Fat Joey Show. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Joey. This is so much fun.
Well, thank you for being on. Super excited to hear your journey into motherhood. But before we start with that, can you give us a little background? Who is Donna Sonkin-Shaw?
So, I grew up on Long Island, moved to Manhattan. I was, dating like a fiend. And then I had so much trouble that I went on a reality show to try and find someone on a VH1 show. And that was crazy. And I came back from New Orleans, and then I went to culinary school, and I started a yoga challenge because I was just like 40. I was 40 and I didn't understand what was going on. And I was kind of, confused. And so I just went on this yoga challenge, and the woman in the yoga studio said, "I see you crying a lot. My healer's coming to town. I think you should come to this workshop." And then I walked into the workshop and I met my husband, John Shaw, and he's fabulous. Gorgeous smile, lovely, brilliant, went to Stanford. He's just the most amazing, fabulous guy. And the second day of the workshop, after we hung back to do some yoga, he said, I'm going to make babies with you. And I was like, what is going on in the world? So I was like, either he has like a really good game and he understands what a 40-year-old woman wants to hear, or he sincerely sees in me the mother of his children, right? So I knew him six weeks, and we're engaged, and 6 months later we got married. And then we kind of tried to have a baby, and I've been a health coach since 2006, And I've been on a modified fertility diet for, I don't know, since I was about 32. When I first heard the words fertility diet, I was actually very underweight because I'd been in the modeling world and the acting world. And I knew that I got better parts when I was on the thinner side. So I kind of had developed an eating disorder. And then when I was in school and I heard the words put together, fertility diet, I could feel a tug from a little baby being. Like I didn't know when I was going to meet her, but I felt she was out there and I knew I was too thin. So I started on a modified fertility diet, even though there was no guy in the picture. And then, so I just thought when I went to have a baby, it would be super easy. And it was so crazy. It was like every girlfriend over 40 that I went to lunch with just said, oh, you're going to do IVF. You're going to do IVF. And I said, no, I'm not going to do IVF. I want to see what my body can do. I mean, you know, I'm a healthy girl. My husband's super healthy. We eat kale like it's going out of style. I'm, you know, at a healthy weight. I just figured it would be easy. And then I ended up going through this crazy journey that was like a year and a half. Miscarriages, chemical pregnancies, all sorts of drama and craziness. And then I didn't want to do IVF, but the doctor that we went to kind of have things checked out and said, oh, yeah, you should do IVF. And when we did IVF, my body rejected everything about it. It didn't work for us. We did 2 rounds. They both failed miserably. And I was devastated, Joe. I was so devastated. And, you know, I was a newly married woman. I was setting up a house. I thought I was damaged goods. I didn't understand what was happening. And then finally, I met a doctor who, you know, I don't know how much you know about the fertility industry, but it's an industry. And you go in and you go to these fancy Madison Avenue offices where you're paying $15,000 a pop and adding on all these extras. And they don't talk to you. They don't even examine you. They're just throwing medication at you. And they're not really looking for the root cause of the infertility. And he said, no, you just have bad eggs. And I said, I'm a health coach and I know that my diet changes everything in my body. I have a good diet, but maybe I could take supplements or do something. He looked me in the face. He said, you can't change your egg quality. Well, now we know there are all these Danish studies. There are some beautiful books out there that really empower women. You can absolutely change your egg quality. So I found after going through this horrible situation, he told me I would need a donor egg. And I said, no, that I really want to see what my body can do. And also I had experienced a lot of loss. I lost my father when I was very young. A lot of my relatives had passed on. And for me, I wanted to see my family. I wanted to see my family in my offspring. I wanted that, you know, all of that generational stuff to come through and be there in my child. And I think donor eggs are great, you know, but for me, I just felt there was really something more that I could do. So I met this doctor. I met 2 great doctors, Dr. Sammy David and Dr. Owen Davis at Cornell, and Sammy David's in private practice, Fifth Avenue Fertility. Really talked to me, listened to me, did these crazy tests that none of these doctors did. These fancy $15,000 a pop doctor never checked my vaginal pH, which was off. And I remember my second meeting with Dr. Sammy David, he said, okay, go home, have sex with your husband, come back, and we are going to see what's going on. So he swabbed the lining of my vagina and put it on a slide and put it in a microscope, like 10th grade biology. And he invited me over to the microscope and he said, what do you see? And I'm a total science geek, so I kind of know that sperm should be moving, even though it's been in my body for a while. And I said, nothing's moving. And he said, Exactly. And it was like, dun, 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 like an episode of Matlock. He's like, your vagina is killing your husband's sperm. And I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. So he taught me how to fix that. Then he did another test for killer cells and elevated C19 cells. And we realized I had a heightened immune system. My body was on high alert. And so we were able to do other things to fix that. And then the most insidious thing that none of these big doctors had checked was a bacteria that my husband and I were passing back and forth. When I did the rounds of IVF, they had given me an antibiotic, but they never gave it to my husband. And when you have sex, you pass stuff back and forth to each other. And there is an insidious bacteria called ureaplasma that is responsible for many miscarriages in women. And I have clients who were told they had unexplained infertility, even 29-year-old clients. And I said, no, have them check you for ureaplasma. I've had a client that her entire uterus was riddled with ureaplasma, but the doctor was going to do IVF. That wouldn't have worked because if your uterus has ureaplasma, you can't carry a baby. So she did a $9 antibiotic and fixed it. So for me, we fixed all these issues, and I had a meeting with a clairvoyant, and he told me, you need to get a dog because it's like that quote in the Bible, to he who hath, more will be given. And when you get a dog, you are a mommy right away. The dog's going to start teething. The dog has a tummy bug. You're going to relate to your husband. You're going to say, did daddy walk you? And he's going to say, mommy's going to give you dinner, and daddy's going to pick up the poop. And so you start talking to each other like your parents. And right away, when I got Daphne, my 8-pound Maltese, this tension lifted because my heart became full with her. And I would walk her and hold her, and she was my baby. And so that part of my nervous system could relax as I worked with the doctors and focused on what were the issues with my fertility. And we cleared those up, and I started working on egg quality. I started taking really great science-based supplements that really affected my fertility. Like, for example, the thing that starts happening in women over 35 is the mitochondria in the embryo, they're not strong because at a certain age you lose steam on the cellular level. And so a supplement called coenzyme Q10 goes in and powers up the mitochondria. And what the mitochondria are responsible for is the multiplication of the chromosomes. So you know how the cells divide, and they keep, when it goes from one cell to it doubles to 2 cells, and then doubles to 4 cells, and so on, and then you have 108 cell blastocysts, and that's when it's considered an embryo. But when that function isn't working properly, that's when you get chromosomal abnormal pregnancies and embryos. And so I took all these great supplements that really supported my fertility. I was very careful with my environmental toxins. I wrote about that in the book. I interviewed some great experts in my book who really empower women to get away from the EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, get out of it, stop using the microwave. I swapped out all of my beauty products, and I love makeup. I used to be a makeup artist, and so I really had to go through and swap everything out. I changed out my shower curtain from a plastic BPA dangerous neurotoxin shower curtain to cloth. Little things that you wouldn't ever think would affect your ability to conceive a child. I just went full force, and when you go to these fertility clinics, they're not asking you what kind of shower curtain you have. They don't care. They're not asking you if your husband has his phone in his pocket. They don't care how much coffee he's drinking, all these different things. And I brought yoga back into the picture. I was meditating. We were doing all this beautiful meditation together, very sacred meditations called the japa meditation, where you use the sacred sounds of Om and Ah, which are the sound of manifestation and the sound of creation. And then when I found out I was pregnant, we did IUI, which is very simple, and I did non-medicated IUI. And we got pregnant within 4 months of changing doctors and working on my egg quality and taking a holistic approach and getting Daphne and doing all of this beautiful meditation and vision work. We would play this fabulous game where we would just imagine, we would just say, okay, what are we going to be doing when she's here? Okay, well, when she's at the dinner table, she's going to be in a bouncy chair. We're going to be, I'm going to be breastfeeding. I'm going to be walking her in the park in the stroller. We're going to sit in the sunshine. I would just take a moment and just feel the feelings of that happening. And as it's happening now, I would imagine. And then the doctor called us and said, you're pregnant and it's a girl. And she's healthy and everything's okay. And then as I progressed, you're a dad, when you go through all the little tests, and you have the 20-week test and you have the 24-week test, and everything is so just stressy. But when I finally made it over the hurdle and felt, okay, this is a go. And I was looking for names in the Jewish religion. I'm Jewish, of Russian descent, Russian-Ukrainian descent, and we name after the dead. So my grandmother's name was Phyllis. So I was looking for a P name, and then I saw Paloma, which had those sacred sounds of Om and Ah, and I just thought, well, people are gonna love saying her name. And so here we are, 7 years out. I wrote this book because I don't want any other woman or couple to ever go through the pain and heartache that I went through, because it's unnecessary. There are things we can do to fix things, and they're all in my book, Poppin' Past 40.
So Poppin' Past 40 obviously is a book that's going to go through from A to Z everything that you and others have gone through to have a child. Now, you said your daughter, she's what, 7, I believe?
She just turned 7 this weekend. We had a crazy party at an alpaca farm.
At an alpaca farm. I think my friend of mine owns an alpaca on a farm upstate. I guess he's like an adoptive alpaca dad.
It's the best.
Him and his wife.
It's totally adorable. It's unbelievably adorable. Yeah.
Now,
anyway, so she's 7.
So she's 7. So obviously she enjoyed the alpaca farm. So now, does she, or is she too young to know exactly how she came to be?
Oh, she knows it all. She told me, she said that she chose me. She said that she was there every step of the way. And she knows, she gets it, She's a deeply spiritual girl. And she always reminds me, Mommy, I chose you. I chose you, Mommy.
Wow.
I chose you and Daddy. I wanted this. And it's very interesting. And she comes to all my workshops. She comes to my photo shoots. She's super supportive. I mean, and she has such a beautiful heart.
If there's one bit of advice you can give to women out there, something that can set them on their path, something simple or something super important that they need to know besides everything else that they'll know or find out through their journey in becoming moms, what is one thing you could give them as a piece of advice or something to steer them in the right direction?
Well, ultimately, I think it boils down to what's on your heart. I really believe in the Creator. I believe that if God puts something on your heart, then you're meant to step into that. So, I always knew I wanted to be a mom. I was 5 years old and I was mothering everything I could mother. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like if you are jumping into motherhood for the right reason, with the right intention, then the Creator would not put that on your heart if it wasn't going to be fulfilled. And there are many ways to be a mom. I know so many beautiful families that have adoption, donor eggs. There are a lot of different ways to be a mother. But I feel like every step of the way, as a human being, as a spiritual being, as a woman, you really need to kind of check in with yourself. Like if you're sitting like you had that experience in the doctor's office. And if you feel that, because I felt that every step of the way when I went to the doctor, I felt like this guy's a jerk, you know, he's treating me like I'm a number. I felt like he wasn't really connecting with me. And I really did not listen to my inner guidance system. You know what I mean? And it's like, we all have this inner system. If I felt something was for me, like I have girlfriends, IVF's great and they love it. And all their babies are from IVF and that's where the belief system is. And that's great for them, you know? And so I just think the biggest advice I can give is check in with yourself, check in with your Creator, check in with your God, check in with your partner. Like, what do you know is true deep, you know, in the still small part of your person? Like, what do you know to be true? Because we all know the truth. I mean, you could listen to media, you could listen to friends, you could listen to experts, but at the end of the day, you're walking in the doctor's office. If you don't think it's the truth for you, then get out. You know what I mean? So I think it's just know your own truth and trust your inner guidance system. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, like you said before, get other opinions. If you don't like what the doctor says, go find someone else. You can get on these groups on Facebook and drive yourself crazy.
Exactly.
But there is great advice on those, and there is great information. Read my book. That's fabulous because that's going to tell you everything. That's going to tell you everything you need to know about diet, all the tests you need to do. I interviewed Dr. Gundry, Dr. David. I have amazing interviews in there. So that's going to save you probably a year of your life and probably $30,000 just picking up my book on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, that's the easiest thing to do. And the other thing is to change your mindset. There are a lot of women that are on the fertility train and they start to get jealous. Why did God do it for them? Why not me? Everywhere I look, it's babies, babies. Where's my baby? And they get disgruntled, jealous, angry, instead of being in abundance and focusing on what they do have. You know, like for me, when I was like, okay, where can I mother? Where can I mother? I'm feeling the absence of being a mother and it's making my heart hurt. I got the dog. I mothered the dog. Then I have a niece and nephew. So it's like I can mother them. I could go hang out with my friends who have kids. And I can be happy for my girlfriends when they tell me they're pregnant. And I can support them. And I could be the first one at their baby shower with the best gift and say simply, as God has done for them, God will do for me, because that's how it works. And I know what's on my heart. And then also, we have ancestors that are coming and giving us support, and we pray to them and we say, you know, hey, Grandma, I know you want me to be a mom. You know, my nickname was Mamala, which means little mother. My grandmother called me that. And so, you know, I used my ancestors. And when I did get pregnant, when we went in for the IUI, I felt all my grandparents in the room. It was a deeply spiritual experience. So get spiritual, get healthy, check your diet, find a good doctor, read my book, get a dog. That's pretty simple.
Now, speaking of reading your book, how can my audience find, follow, and keep up with everything Donna Sonkin-Shore and get your latest book, Poppin' Past 40?
I love that. Thank you so much. So Poppin' Past 40 is available on Amazon, and it's such a great book. So, and please get it, leave a review. It's just so much fun. And there are good recipes in there. So it's just simple recipes, and there's a shopping guide so you'll know what to buy to get you healthy. Also, I have a website. It's DonnaSonkinshaw.com. Also poppinpast40.com, and that's all spelled out, poppinpast40, the word 40, .com. And then also, I am on socials. I have Twitter. I have YouTube. I have great videos on YouTube, and all the interviews in the book are actually on YouTube, but they're unabridged. They're longer. So those are on YouTube. I have my full fertility story, which is what caused me to write the book. That's on YouTube. It's about 16 minutes. And Instagram, Facebook, and I'm available for private coaching. I do workshops. So if anyone has a group of women, I do classes. And they can just reach out to me through my website, DonnaSonkinshaw.com. And all of my socials are at Donna Sonkin Shaw.
Well, that's beautiful. Health coach, chef, author of Poppin' Pets 40, Donna Sonkin Shaw. Thank you for being on the Big Fat Joey Show. I wish you nothing but luck and success in all that you do.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. Thank you so much, Joey.
Have a great day. Speak with you soon.
You too.
What a great show, Sin.
So good. I can't believe the time. It flew.
It flew. Well, everyone, tomorrow's 4th of July. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. Remember to thank all those who have served, are serving, and will serve, including our first responders who keep us safe here at home, and obviously all our men and women in the armed forces. All right, everyone, this is Big Fat Joey. Big Fat Joey Show. Biggest thing on radio here with Cipriano and everyone, too.
Make every sandwich count. Peace.